necklace to the island girl. What does blackmail mean? Which meant I had to fill in the blanks myself, creating an even more dizzying web of amnesia plot lines and secret agendas on top of the existing ones. In the One Life to Live episode that's seared into my memory, Karen, the tormented housewife, is forced to testify as a witness in defense of her best friend, Vicky Lord Riley, who's been accused of murdering an evil tycoon. In the climactic scene, the merciless prosecutor rips Karen to shreds, exposing the truth that she was secretly a prostitute, a word that shocked the character so much I could not even imagine what it meant. What really confused me was why Karen was being attacked by the lawyer in the first place. Wasn't Vicky Lord Riley the one on trial? Wasn't Karen just the witness? "It doesn't matter who you are," Eclair explained. "The point is, if you have a secret, you're fucked." It's still probably the wisest thing I've ever heard anyone say. 2. 1988. Our parents owned a daycare they ran from our home in New Hampshire, a converted old barn with a bright rainbow painted on the roof. Rainbow Kids Care, it was called. We had a little goat farm with 5 goats, Donnie, Lonnie, Sunny, Spunky, and Trailblazer, and a view overlooking untouched forest, the trees skeletons in winter, ruby red in fall. According to my dad, the trees were home to the fairy people, who sat hidden in the branches and sprinkled fairy dust on our heads to keep us all safe and sound. It was the 1980s, before those studies claiming that your kid would become a mentally ill delinquent if you didn't pick the right preschool. Before the promises of Baby Einstein Academy or Stepping Stone to Success Daycare. No one thought when they handed over their 2 through 5-year-olds to my parents that anything crucial was happening inside those 2 through 5-year-old brains. Keep the kids alive and reasonably happy until they could be picked up at the end of the day. That was the job. It was babysitting. Apple juice, graham crackers, finger painting, story time. I remember it all feeling pretty simple. Then again, every speck of my memory has been turned over, interrogated, and second-guessed to the point where I hardly know what I remember and what I don't. The day after she graduated high school, Eclair put us all in the rearview mirror and moved to Miami, about as far away from New Hampshire as a person could get while still technically being in America. Her dream was to be a backup dancer for Gloria Estefan, get discovered, and be propelled to stardom. She soon had a whole life of her own, a wardrobe comprised entirely of leopard print, a boyfriend with a car phone and his own exercise videotape company called Bangin' Beach Bods, and her trips home were brief and infrequent. Without her around, Days of Our Lives and One Life to Live lost their magic, and I stopped watching them. I'd gotten sort of nerdy and preferred books anyway. In the woods, there was an old shed kids called the Witch Hut, and I practically lived there, reading and listening to my Walkman and doing nothing. But what were you doing in the woods? I was asked this 100 times years later in the sterile white office of a police station. Nothing. I was doing nothing. Adults seem to forget that between the grind of childhood, art time, nap time, snack time, and the grind of teenagedom, soccer practice, homework, party, there is a brief, sweet set of years where no one cares what you do, and you roam free. How could I explain the idle magic of these afternoons without sounding insane? That I collected rocks and gave them names, that I imagined clouds had personalities, that I believed animals would talk to you if they trusted you. Walking, practically losing my identity as I followed a red fox for miles into the forest. I took after my mother, who was always more interested in animals than in people. The 2 of us would discuss our animal neighbors endlessly, like a pair of ladies gossiping at the hairdresser, except instead of so-and-so got drunk and wrecked his truck or so-and-so is sleeping with the mailman, it was the black bear found a new patch of berries, or the skunks' babies all had pure white tails. Occasionally, my dad would interrupt us with some news from the real world. "I'm bringing Dylan Fairbanks to stay for the week. His mom's been arrested again, and she's trying to make bail." Mom would seem momentarily confused, as if trying to remember which animal of the forest